So Thai is some of my favorite food of all time. I'm actually having it today. By the time you're watching this, it's past my birthday, but today is actually my birthday, and the food that I am choosing to have on my birthday is Thai food. So I wasn't sure what I was gonna do this week, but it hit me. I have my favorite book, Eat This, Not That, and I was like, I bet they have something on Thai food in there. Now the funny thing is that I already ordered the food. I haven't eaten it yet. So I didn't really even look at this information before I actually ordered it, but I don't care because I'm gonna get what I like. Okay, that's some Penang curry. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I love their pad thai. I'm not getting that today, but I do love it. Some of their actual appetizers and all that. So I found out that they have something they call a Thai menu decoder. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through how to choose Thai food. It's not, so this one isn't the eat this, not that format, which I found very interesting. It's actually just giving you how to spot keywords, okay, in Thai menus that gives you clues on how fattening or how, many calories are in the food. Okay, so I'm definitely excited about this, and I'm probably going to learn as much as you are because I never really tried to go out of my way to find out about calories with a lot of the things that I eat when it comes to restaurants, because I always look at those as just like, exceptions to the rules, so I don't get super hung up on that. But knowledge is knowledge, and it's always good to know what's going on. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing they have is rolls, okay? So spring rolls, summer rolls, all those kinds of things are very popular with Thai food. So they're in this book, they are talking about the difference in spring and summer, okay? So spring always means deep fried, and summer means not deep fried. So they're saying basically, and then it says now choose accordingly. So basically, they're saying if you decide to get anything with the spring in it, it means that it's deep fried. And we all know what that means. It's oily and it's fattening. Okay? Satay. Now, I never order satay, but this says lean grilled meat on a stick slath. Oh, no. Lean. I don't edit these things. Lean grills meat on a stick slathered in a spicy peanut sauce. Seriously satisfying low fat food. Okay, so I don't eat that, but basically it's like a kebab, okay? And yes, I can't read. It's just that they have like the little like dash marks in the wording, I promise. But anyway, so I don't usually get satay, but it's a healthier choice. So just know that. Tofu. Tofu acts like a soybean sponge, sucking up anything it comes into contact with. When it's fried, like it is here, that translates into a heavy dose of oil and little else. Ask for it sauteed or stick to vegetables. And the example that they have is just a regular tofu plate. And what they're saying is ask for it with vegetables and not fried. Okay? Vegetables. They're gonna explain to us what vegetables are, I guess. I mean, I think vegetables are vegetables, but let's see what they're talking about. Okay. Laced with ginger, garlic, and chilies, Thai style vegetables pack huge flavor for few calories. Try splitting an entree with a companion and sharing a side of sizzling vegetables to round out the meal, which is always a good tactic. So, I'm gonna eat my own food. Okay, I want my own plate for the most part, but I will say with Thai food, which is what we're gonna do today, is really easy to split and to eat things as like, get sides, get two main entrees, and kind of just split it because it almost has like a family style kind of feeling to it because the noodles are very large portions and stuff like that. So in this case, I would say yes, it's really not a bad idea to just get one plate, split it with somebody, a friend or a partner, and then to get a side of vegetables to add on. And then a lot of times, one great thing about Thai food is that it does have a lot of vegetables on the menu, and they also offer the option to as vegetables is the main part protein, well, not protein, but the main, add on to the meal. So they'll break it up, chicken or shrimp or vegetables or pork or whatever. So you can always do that. And I think that's a very good tip. Okay. Plallard prick. I don't know what that is. I've never even seen that on the menu up here, but it's Plallard prick. It says the crispy whole snapper's crispy part comes from its bath in a wok of hot, bubbling oil. Eat the whole thing with rice, and the meal pops out around 900 calories. Oh, wow. So this is just the crispy snapper. Now I kind of know what they mean. I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen it listed as plard prick or whatever that says. I don't need to be pronouncing these words, but yeah, it looks like that's 900 calories, which is not surprising. As you think about it, they put the whole fish. They usually, put a whole lot of other stuff on it, and it's all oil. So, all right, we're already one page down. Gonna go through the rest, and then we'll be done. Okay, green curry. So now we're getting into the stuff I eat. Okay, green curry. Thai curries, and this is I already kind of know. I think they're going to tell us no. Thai curries, regardless of color, are based around coconut milk. I know it's popular. But coconut milk has. Let me just let them talk about it. While high in saturated fat, most of that comes from lauric acid, which has been shown in more than 60 studies to decrease your risk of cardiovascular disease. I'm gonna have to talk about this because this book, honestly, they make some points that I don't know. Okay, pick a lean protein like shrimp or chicken, and this makes for a healthier option than many of the noodle based dishes. Okay, this would be the day that I am tongue tied. Okay, no. So coconut, everything with coconut, I understand. Let's just go ahead and have a whole conversation about coconut. Okay, it is very high in saturated fat, and I know that it is, coveted, and people will say, oh yes, we should eat it. It is healthier in a generic sense than a lot of the other ones, but it's super high in fat, and it is super high in calories. So just on the weight loss side alone, you probably should not be messing with a lot of coconut oils in general, but coconut oil, it's very high calorie. But in general, saturated fat is not the best thing. And the reason that I have issues with the way they word these things is these studies, they're a little limited, first of all. So it only takes like a couple studies for people to start citing things. But there has been a lot of research on the other end that just says, if you are high risk, if you're really trying to lose like a lot of weight, you're diabetic or anything like that, you need to limit your saturated fat as much as possible. And it doesn't matter if, there is some kind of health benefit to something. It doesn't mean that it's something that you should be eating. So just be very, very aware and very cautious of coconut oil and anything with coconuts, because it is a very, it can be a problematic oil. Okay. So that's just me going on a little tangent, but I do know that a lot of times people will cite, a little fact that's saying something is amazing, but they're not looking at the whole picture and what that person is trying to achieve. Okay. So they're just going based on this one little study fact. Okay. If you're trying to lose weight, try to stay away from saturated fat just for health purposes anyways, but also the more fat, the more calories something is. That is just the way it is. Okay. So fried rice, nearly as oil soaked as its Chinese counterpart. They left that nice and short. We know fried rice is fried rice, okay? You're never going to really win there. Okay, my favorite, or one of my favorites, pad thai. An average portion of this popular noodle entree can be 600 calories, but it's usually very low in saturated fat, making it a pretty good option. Now, do you see what they just said? Do you see how 2 things ago they were talking about coconut oil and how it's high in saturated fat, and it's great though because it's good and it's good for your heart, and then 2 points late, I swear I didn't look at this book ahead of time. I swear I did not. I did not look at this ahead of time, but they are making my point for me. The main point they're making is, okay, first of all, 600 calories, which I would say is on the low end of the portions, okay, that they give us. So, and it says an average portion. Usually the way they sell it at the restaurants, they sell it as one entree, and it's really a lot of noodles. Okay, at least here it is. I mean, and I think everywhere, Thai food is pretty generous with the noodles because noodles don't cost a lot. So being that it's America, it's like just put a ton of noodles on the plate. People feel satisfied. They feel like they're getting a lot of their money's worth, right? So we might as well just put a ton of noodles. You don't see them putting a ton of shrimp on the plate, right? They're not being super generous with that. They're being generous with the noodle part, okay, which is the problematic part and the part that is actually fried. Okay, but anyways, but then you see right after that, they talk about how it's very low in saturated fat, right? And making it a good option because they are aware that saturated fat is not the way to go. So they basically just, went against their own advice in the book. And I love this book. This book, I don't agree with everything it says, but it's very like it helps you to really grasp some things. And I think for a beginner who doesn't really understand restaurant food, and it has shopping food, all kinds of stuff in here, I think it's a great resource to just kind of understand food. But some of the points in here, I think they're a little off, but that's neither here nor there. Okay. All right, and then the last one is Thai iced tea. Any potential benefits of the brute strength black tea are hopelessly diluted by the addition of sweetened condensed milk and a few fistfuls of sugar. Sip this and your blood sugar levels will soar, which signals your body to start storing fat. Okay, yes, Thai tea is very high in sugar, but really it's just very high in calories because of the milk, okay? Because they use sweetened milk and it's basically like creamer, which I've talked about in several videos as far as even like creamers for milk and stuff like that. So yes, no. You just want, I mean, not creamers for milk, but creamers for coffee, anything with a lot of sweetener in it. You'll look at the calorie count and it's a lot of calories. Okay, so definitely try to steer clear of like anything that has a lot of like milk in it, especially if you don't have power over it. So it's different if you're making it yourself, but it's a whole nother story when someone is just piling on some sugary milk, okay, for all of your beverages. And this is where a lot of people get in trouble, honestly, is that cup of coffee every morning. Okay, like people want to blame it on the pizza, their cookies, and all this and that, but the consistent things that you eat that are high in calorie are the ones that make the biggest impact. Okay, so just keep that in mind for everyday use. So one thing I'll just say as a sidebar is when it comes to trying to eliminate calories for actual losing weight, one of the first things you should do is look at what you eat the most of. So if you think you eat bad foods here and there, figure out the one that you eat the most of and then start there and reduce how much you eat of that. Okay, and then kind of just let it snowball and then it will go on to other things. Okay, so anyways, that is it. That is their menu decoder. The main takeaway I would take, honestly, is that Thai food is going to be high in calories no matter what. Okay, Masaman curry, which is one of my favorite curries, Penang curry. Penang curry has coconut milk in it, and you'll see that there's a lot of coconut used, okay, in the Thai food. Egg is used a lot, which is fine, but it's also high in cholesterol. And you can get several, I mean, it just depends on what you get, but they can put a lot of egg in your stuff. Okay, and eggs are pretty high in calories to a degree. 2 eggs is 140 calories. So if you get one, that's an extra 70 on top, of whatever you're eating. And then most of the appetizers are going to be fried. Another thing is those wings. Okay, so a lot of these restaurants, and it's not just Thai food, it can be Indian food, some of the other foods. they're very sweet. Like they have a sweet kind of undertone to them. So like their wings, even Korean barbecue, the sauce is very sweet. Okay, so you're looking at, and it's wings, which it has, skin on it. So those are going to be super, super high in calories and very fattening. So you just kind of have to assume, and this is just what you should do, that when you go and eat Thai food, okay, you're probably going to get like 1,000 calories. At least if you eat in like a typical way. If you have like an appetizer or two, which is probably maybe what's going to happen, okay, and then you have a full entree, you're going to get 600 to 1,000 calories. And 600 is bare minimum, assuming you're eating the whole thing. Okay, so just want to put that out there, that if you want to just not even think too hard about it, just know that it's definitely a super treat, because it accounts for a big portion of your calories for the whole day. Okay, so that is it. I was so excited. It's my birthday. Okay, I'm so excited about this one. I forgot to do my like typical intro, introducing myself and stuff, but I am Tiffanie, a certified personal trainer, nutrition specialist, all that good stuff. Okay, and I forgot to tell you to go get your link. I mean, not your links, but to go to the link to get your free workouts and your starter kit. Okay, I always put free resource in the subscription, not the subscription. Okay, now I'm just being tongue tied. I always put a free resource in the description, not subscription, the description. Okay, y'all got me on a tongue-tied day. Hopefully, still like the video. I'm just excited. It's my birthday. Give me some birthday sympathy and a like for my birthday. Okay, so anyways, make sure you get your free workouts and all that good stuff. I also have a couple on the channel. By now, I should have at least one on the channel. So go do a workout. Other than that, eat well, drink well, take care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit, and I will see you soon.